نعبد وإياك نستعين. Dear Asabacha, starting you new fresh series of water resources engineering, which is a very important sub branch of civil engineering. This is project management specialist, construction management specialist, and contract management specialist, fitting specialist, drafting specialist, assistant Ari. Engineer Asabacha, welcoming you to a new series of MCQs. So the first thing is search tags are used. सर्च टैंक को हम किस चीज़ में यूज़ करते हैं? तो सबसे पहले सर्च टैंक है क्या चीज़? व्हाट इज सर्च टैंक? तो सर्च टैंक को हम अब डिफाइन करेंगे इन वाटर रिसोर्सेज इंजीनियरिंग. A search tank is a water storage device. It is a water storage device. So that's a search tank. And here we have an upstream. Okay. So in top we have upstream reservoir, right? And we always have the tailwater. So I can clearly see like it's a might be a dam, and we have upstream reservoir, and that's a dam is constructed in front of it. Then we have a headbridge tunnel where the water will go, and then we constructed surge tank, and this is a sort of surge tank. So what is surge tank? So it's a water storage device. It's a water storage tank. It's a device. It might be tank in water resources engineering and water supply engineering. And these are the skills from engineer Bacha. So surge tank is a water storage device, water storage tank. It's a tank, and tanks are always used for storage. It can be used as a pressure neutralizer. Here it's a pressure neutralizer. We can use it as a pressure neutralizer. Like you can see, it's a penstock where from this surge tank, here the water, when it's flowing, then it can go upward as well, and then it can go downward as well, as defined by the principles of surge tank, as manufactured by the water resources engineers, water supply engineers, water supply scientists from the last or the decades. And then we have a turbine here, like you can see, it's a turbine. So, and after this turbine we have this generator, right? We have governor, and then after come out this, then we have at the end water come out with the tailwater. And this is let me fix this, and this is the water table. This is the water table of the surge tank. So this is what the surge tank is all about. This is a surge tank, and you can see this is that tunnel which are we talking about. So courtesy to Wikipedia, surge tanks is used as a pressure neutralizer in water resources engineering, water supply engineering, and it have a different assemblies, and it can be used as a pressure neutralizer in hydropower water. What is hydropower water? It's a water. So hydropower water is also called a hydro energy water and a water supply engineering, or water resources engineering, right? A water distributory engineering, right? Why we call it a hydro energy water? So what is hydro water? So we believe that the and from the skills of Bacha, the surge tanks are used and for storage of water, and also used as pressure neutralized in hydropower water conveyance system. So it's a surge tank in the screen, and it's a used in a hydropower water conveyance system. Conveyance, This is a tunnel and it's a conveyance, providing a conveyance. All right, so it's used for the hydropower water conveyance system. So what is hydropower water? So let me discuss that. So hydropower water and water resources engineering is actually, it's also called hydro energy water. So why? Because it's a form of renewable energy. It will produce energy, it will reproduce energy. That is why it's called renewable energy. You know what I mean by renewable energy? So renewable energy is actually the energy which is produced from renewable resources. Like in civil engineering, we have a different resources like manpower, machinery, equipment, laborers, non-laborers, right? And we have resources and civil engineering, and which is useful in Primavera P6. But in a water supply energy, if we talking about the renewable energy, it's actually the energy produces from renewable resources, right? So what are renewable resources? First of all, the surge tank also contains a valve, because whenever water is going in this penstock, which is that underground, which is that tunnel carrying the water in a hydropower conveyance system, having the surge tank. As you can see, this is the surge tank, right? And this is the water level, right? This is the water top level of the surge tank, and this valve functioned between putting water downtown to a turbine. We have a generators and governors, and then we have a tailwater at the down, right? So it's a device surge tank. Okay, so we talk about the renewable energy. So the renewable energy are the energy which is actually from the renewable resources. So what are the renewable resources? So renewable energy in a water supply system is a energy obtained from renewable resources that are naturally replenished on human time scale. So what are the renewable resources? It can be sunlight, wind, okay. And if I talk about the surge tank, we have a reservoir which is always full of water, and the reservoir, like you can see, it's a reservoir full of water. And then after this we have a dam constructed. That might be a concrete dam, that might be a masonry structure, and when this water level cross the top surface of the dam, then the water flowing on top of this dam, like in this direction, right? So here it comes as a surge tank, right? But that was a natural process when the water flowing at top of the dam. And then we have weirs, barrages, dams. So that's an irrigation system. Here you can see we have this barrier in the form of dam. The water going in this direction, right here. So it's a tunnel, and then this is a surge tank, right? So what is a surge tank? Again and again I'm talking about the surge tank. So surge tank is a water storage device, right? And in a hydropower water conveyance system, then I ask you a question. That's a task for you. What is hydro water? But you guys never answer any tasks. So let me explain you the hydropower water. But the surge tank is the pressure neutralizer. Its work used as a pressure neutralizer in a hydropower water conveyance system. So what surge tank is all about is as a surge tank is a tank used for storing device. Surge tank is a tank used for water storing purposes. A surge tank is a water storage device that is used as a pressure neutralizer. So what is pressure neutralizer? All right, and hydropower water conveyance system in order to dampen excess pressure variance. यानी इसको हम हाइड्रोपावर वाटर कन्वेंस सिस्टम के लिए यूज करते हैं. नाउ हाइड्रोपावर वाटर किसे कहते हैं? I have give you the task and you guys need to answer in the comment box. So hydropower water conveyance system में हम इसको यूज करते हैं. So it's a surge tank is a water storage device which is used and is a pressure neutralizer and hydropower water conveyance system. So I give you the task and you guys have to answer me in a combo box that what is hydropower water, but it's used as a hydropower water conveyance system. And you can see this is a turbine installed in order to dampen excess pressure variance. मतलब के pressure variance के लिए हम इसको यूज करते हैं. In order to dampen excess pressure variance, ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा गीला करे pressure के variance को. Pressure variance किसे कहते हैं? Now that's another aspect, right? So hydropower water is actually in a hydro energy water. If I can relate to water resources engineering, or if I can relate into the different water supply engineering or civil engineering, if I talk about hydropower water or dams, these are the surge tank and different variants. This is actually that valve which I talking about. You can see that this is that valve and this is a surge tank, and it's a device for storage water and also used as a pressure neutralizer and hydropower water conveyance system in order to dampen excess pressure variance, right? To access the pressure variance. So I will come towards the pressure variance first of all, but I have to first clear the hydropower water, right? These are realistic surge tanks. So hydropower water is actually the water which is also called hydro energy water. Why is called hydro energy water? I came towards the question that why it is called hydro energy water, because it is a form of renewable energy, right? It's a form of renewable energy that uses the water stored in dams. Hydropower water will be that water which is stored in dams, that's for sure. Or you can see these are so heavy structures, such tanks. So hydropower water is that water which is stored in dams, is will flowing in rivers to create electricity in hydropower plants. That water which create electricity is called hydropower water, right? So it's a surge tank. So hydropower water is also called hydroelectric water, is one of the oldest and largest source of renewable energy. I'll come towards the renewable energy. So which uses the natural flow of moving water to generate electricity. That water which is actually moving from dams or moving in a river and to generate electricity is called hydropower water, right? So hydropower water is a word related to a surge tank. That is cleared. So surge tank is a water storage device used as a pressure neutralizer in hydropower water conveyance system in order to dampen excess pressure variance. इसमें एक बात बताओ, in order to dampen excess pressure variance में कोई एक्सेस उसके ज़्यादा गीला करने में pressure variance में ये क्या करता है, ये एक्सेस ज़्यादा करता है इसको, ठीक है, इसमें काम करता है. अच्छा, मैं geothermal renewable energy की बात करूँ. Renewable energy is actually the energy that is obtained from renewable resources that are naturally replenished on human time scale. So what are the renewable resources? That is sunlight. Renewable energy is obtained from sunlight, from wind. It can obtain from movement of water and geothermal heat, right? As you can see in the image, it's a wind. It's obtained from wind. And it's obtained from 3.7% from solar system, 6.6% from wind, from geothermal, hydro 15.3%, and biomass 2.3%, solar 3.7%. So it's a renewable energy, it's obtained from that. It's obtained from wind as well. It's obtained from solarization as well. So renewable energy is obtained from renewable resources, which is utilizing in daily life. So such tanks are used for to guard against water hammer. That's the correct option. For storage of water is indeed the right option. To increase the velocity in a pipeline, not. Is it overflow valves? No. But to guard against the water hammer. So what is water hammer? We will discuss in the next question, and pressure variance as well. So renewable energy is a form of energy obtained from renewable resources that are naturally replenished on a human timescale. Renewable resources include sunlight, wind, the movement of water, and geothermal heat. Now, what is water hammer? Because such tanks are used to guard against the water hammer. So what is water hammer? Water hammer is a phenomenon that can occur in any piping system where valves are used to control the flow of liquids or stream. Water hammer is a result of pressure surge, is a result of pressure variance, is a result of pressure difference between 2 points. One point is the top of the point, second point is the lower point. So, and where liquid is flowing, whether it's a river, pipe, channel, or high pressure shock wave that propagates through a piping system. When a fluid in a motion is forced to change direction or stop abruptly. Right? When a fluid in motion is forced to change direction or stop abruptly. So this is called water hammer. तो सर्च वाटर हैमर एक ऐसा फिनोमेना है जो कि पाइपिंग सिस्टम में होता है, जहाँ पे हमारे साथ वाल्व यूज़ होता है, ठीक है, और वो वाल्व हमारे साथ लिक्विड्स में या स्टीम की जो बहाव होता है, पानी का जो बहाव होता है, उसको कंट्रोल करता है. जब प्रेशर सर्ज की वजह से, प्रेशर डिफरेंस की वजह से वाटर हैमर इज रिजल्ट ऑफ प्रेशर. जब प्रेशर डिफरेंस होता है, एक पानी ऊपर होता है, एक नीचे होता है, तो दोनों में के प्रेशर में फ़र्क होता है. अब आपके लिए टास्क है कि जब पानी ऊपर हो उसका प्रेशर ज़्यादा होता है या पानी नीचे हो उसका प्रेशर ज़्यादा होता है, तो प्रेशर सर्ज की वजह से वाटर हैमर प्रोड्यूस होता है, ठीक, राइट, या हाई प्रेशर शॉक वेव्स की वजह से, प्रेशर शॉक वेव की वजह से दैट प्रोपेगेट्स थ्रू पाइपिंग सिस्टम में ऊपर से जब पानी आता है तो उसका प्रेशर तेज़ होगा, नीचे आते हुए उसका प्रेशर मज़ीद तेज़ हो जाएगा. तो एक पाइपिंग सिस्टम में शॉक वेव की वजह से, प्रेशर शॉक वेव की वजह से भी हमारे साथ वाटर हैमर प्रोड्यूस होता है. व्हेन अ फ्लूइड इन मोशन इज फोर्स टू चेंज डायरेक्शन, या जब फ्लूइड ज़बरदस्ती अपनी डायरेक्शन चेंज करे और स्टॉप एब्रप्टली, अचानक रुक जाए, तो उसकी वजह से भी वाटर हैमर प्रोड्यूस होता है. इसमें भी देख सकते हैं जब हमारे साथ अगर वॉल हम अचानक तेज़ी से बंद कर ले, ठीक है, या पंप को हम अचानक से बंद कर ले, एंड काजेज द वाटर प्रेशर टू राइज एंड फॉल. जब पानी का प्रेशर बहाव अचानक से तेज़ और स्लो हो जाए, ठीक है, तो इसकी वजह से वाटर हैमर प्रोड्यूस होता है, ठीक है. एबनॉर्मल बिहेवियर ऑफ वाटर होता है, जिस तरह ये वाल्व क्लोजेस एंड वाटर हैमर प्रोड्यूसेस, एंड द wall number 3 in the image sounds like some hammering on pipe, right, can damage pipes causing them burst. तो पानी को pipes को हम तोड़ भी सकते हैं. Question number 5, acidity in water is caused due to. पानी में acidity क्यों प्रोड्यूस होती है? तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एसिडिटी क्या होता है पानी में और ये किसकी वजह से प्रोड्यूस होती है, ठीक है. सो व्हाट इज एसिडिक वाटर? Acidic water occurs when the water's pH drops below 7. Then the water becomes acidic, right? The ideal pH levels for drinking water are between 6.5 and 8.5. But the water drops, the power of hydrogen drops below 7, then it's acidic water. Since water becomes more acidic, its contaminants are introduced to it. Different other contaminants, which is acidic contaminants, are introduced to it. And you should be careful and avoid ever drinking acidic water because it can harm you, it can damage you. So simply, acidic water occurs when the water pH drops below 7. So how you can check acidic water? How you know that the water flowing in a river, in a stream flow, in a pipeline, in a channel, in a pond, are some where other way of water is acidic. What are those equipments to check acidic water? And task for you, write down in a combo box. So what is acidity in water? As we know, pH is a measure of how acidic water and basic water is. How we know the quality of water? By pH value. The range goes from 0 to 14, with 7 being neutral, right? 7 is neither acidic, when your pH value comes out 7, nor basic. So the range is actually from 0 to 14 overall. pH of less than 7 indicate acidity in water, which can harm you, whereas a pH of greater than 7 indicates a basic water. The pH of water is very important, right? So the pH of water is very important concerning the quality of water. So the pH of water, if I can on the spotlight, the pH of water is very important measurement of concerning quality of water or water quality, right? So acidity in water is caused due to mineral acids, free carbon dioxide, iron sulfate, and aluminum sulfate. These are the parameters which can cause acidity. These are the parameters which can cause acidity in water, right? Amino acid or organic acid is any acid derived from an organic compound that dissociate to produce hydrogen ion H plus in water, right? Mineral acids are highly soluble in water but tends to be insoluble in organic solvents. ये पानी में तो जल्दी हल हो जाते हैं, लेकिन इनऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट्स जो होता है उनमें ये सॉल्व नहीं होते. इनऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट्स में ये हल नहीं होते. द इनऑर्गेनिक एसिड्स आर कोरोसिव. जो इनऑर्गेनिक एसिड होते हैं कोरोसिव होते हैं. तो मिनरल एसिड्स की वजह से पानी में एसिडिटी प्रोड्यूस होती है. ठीक है. व्हाट इज फ्री कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड? फ्री कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का मतलब है is carbon dioxide that exists in environment, जो कि environment में exist करता है. It is present in water in the form of dissolved gas. ये पानी में हलशुदा गैस की शक्ल में होता है. Surface water normally contain less than 10 ppm of free carbon dioxide. जो surface पानी होता है, ज़मीन के surface पे जो पानी होता है उसमें 10 ppm free carbon dioxide होता है हमारे साथ. ठीक है. जो हमारे साथ surface पे जो हमारे साथ जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड सरफेस पे जो पानी होता है, ज़मीन के सरफेस पे जो पानी होता है उसमें हमारे पास फ्री कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड 10 ppm होता है. और फ्री कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड की वजह से भी एसिडिटी प्रोड्यूस होती है पानी में. While some ground water may exceed that concentration, कुछ में ज़्यादा भी होता है 10 ppm से. जो आयरन सल्फेट होता है इसको फेरस सल्फेट भी कहते हैं. इसकी वजह से भी एसिडिटी प्रोड्यूस होती है पानी में. A range of salts with the formula, ये साल्ट होता है, नमक होता है, जिसका फार्मूला Fe4 iron sulfate dot XH2O. These compound exist most commonly as the heptahydrate. ये हेप्टाहाइड्रेट की शक्ल में होता है, but several values for X are known, जिसमें X की कुछ values पता होते हैं. The hydrated form is used medically to treat iron deficiency. अगर मेडिकल हम इसको यूज़ करें तो जिस इंसान में शख्स में आयरन की कमी हो, ये वाला आयरन नहीं है जो लोहा है जो हम कंक्रीट सिविल इंजीनियरिंग में यूज़ करते हैं, उसको भी आयरन कहते हैं ऑफ कोर्स. बट जिसमें आयरन की डिफिशिएंसी तो उस मेडिकल को पेशेंट को ट्रीट करने के लिए हम इसको यूज़ करते हैं. ठीक है. लेकिन मकसद ये है कि आयरन सल्फेट की वजह से भी पानी में एसिडिटी प्रोड्यूस होती है. ठीक है. फ्री कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड की वजह से भी, मिनरल एसिड्स की वजह से भी, एंड आल्सो फॉर इंडस्ट्रियल एप्लीकेशन के लिए भी हम इसको यूज़ करते हैं. इसका फार्मूला है आयरन सल्फेट जो मोलर मास है 151.90 ग्राम पर मोल. डेंसिटी जो इसकी है मेरे पास वो है 2.8 ग्राम पर सेंटीमीटर क्यूब. मेल्टिंग पॉइंट 70 डिग्री है, इस पर ये मेल्ट होता है. और केम्स्पायर आईडी इसकी ये है. आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन दैट. बॉइलिंग पॉइंट पर 330 डिग्री वाटर सेंटीग्रेड है, राइट. इस पर बॉयल होता है और ये पानी में हल होता है. हर वो चीज़ जो एसिडिटी प्रोड्यूस करती है पानी में, वो पानी में सॉल्व होगी. अगर हम एल्यूमिनियम सल्फेट की बात कर ले तो ये भी पानी में एसिडिटी प्रोड्यूस करती है. ठीक है. तो इसकी पानी की pH की वैल्यू 7 से गिर जाती है, 7 पे न्यूट्रल होता है. एल्युमिनियम सल्फेट इज सॉल्ट विद द फार्मूला Al2SO4 in bracket power of 3 aluminum sulfate in subscript. It is soluble in water because it produces acidity in water. It must be soluble in water and it is a chemical, right? And it's mainly used as a coagulating agent in the purification of drinking water. इसको पानी को साफ करने के लिए हम इसको एल्युमिनियम सल्फेट को यूज़ कर सकते हैं, ठीक है. For interview, of course, to answer to the stupid burger teacher, to stupid teachers, and of course in wastewater treatment plants, जो treatment plant होते हैं जो human फजला होते हैं उनको साफ करने के लिए भी यूज़ करते हैं. Also in paper manufacturing, पेपर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए भी इसको यूज़ करते हैं. इसका फार्मूला Al2SO4 है, मोलर मास 342 है, सॉल्युबल इन वाटर है बिकॉज एसिडिटी प्रोड्यूस करता है, ठीक है. और द रेस्ट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड, राइट. So these are the certain elements which produces acidity in water. Now next question is, what is biological oxygen demand, the BOD, right? So I want to talk about the BOD. So that's a question number 4 of safe drinking water must be. So what is safe drinking water? Did you guys know that? I already clicked on the answer is given is for safe drinking water the bio-oxygen demand are nil. It's having no value. So what is BOD? So what is biological oxygen demand, BOD? So biological oxygen demand is the measure of the amount of oxygen required to remove waste organic matter from water. Whenever you are removing organic waste matter, which is the dirt, which is the human dirt, to remove the waste organic matter from water in the process of decomposition by aerobic bacteria, since the aerobic bacteria consume that human dirt, the human wastewater, human fuzla, so by aerobic bacteria, so that occurs in the process of decompositions, right? Those bacteria that live only in an environment containing oxygen is aerobic bacteria. So the remove waste organic matter from water is this process is known as biological oxygen demand, right? Actually, bacteria take 5 days to consume up to 70 to 80% of food, which is the dirt food, human dirt. Bacteria is a favorite food, and for the remaining 20-30%, it takes nearly 50 days just to survive on it, as that 20% is not its favorite food. So those bacteria that live only in environment containing oxygen is an aerobic bacteria, and if not containing oxygen environment will be anaerobic. So we discussed BOD because bacteria take 5 days to consume up to 70 to 80% of food, which is its favorite food, and for the remaining 20 to 30%, it takes nearly 50 days just to survive on it, on that food which it consumed already, as that 20% is not its favorite food. So we can't wait for so long, and hence we are considered 5 days as 70% of consumption. 5 days is 70% of consumption, but bacteria is enough for us. So to discuss more about the BOD further, BOD is the amount of oxygen required for decomposition of biodegradable organic matter present in the system. All right. So BOD is actually, if I'm talking about, then a little bit discuss more about the BOD. So BOD is the amount of oxygen required for decomposition of biodegradable organic matter present in the system, right? BOD indicates the presence of microorganisms in water. BOD will always give us information about the presence of microorganisms in water. And in drinking water, the presence of microorganisms would lead to the rejection of the water, because if there is a microorganism or bacteria present in the water, so nobody can drink this water. So being a water resource engineer or being a water supply engineer, the the thing which we're going to serve for the communities, for the peoples, for the societies, will always be looking for the condition to check the microorganism presence in the water, whether it's a water tanks, whether it's a water distribution systems, whether it's a water pipelines going in the communities, or whether it's a pipe distribution system and the entire developmental area, community, or society, or even town or city or village. So you're always looking for the presence of microorganism, and if there is microorganism, it will lead to the rejection of water, and it will be highly recommended being a water resource engineer or being a water supply engineer not to drink such water. And what are the criteria to clean that drinking water? We're going to discuss that much more in the further tutorials and the water supply engineering series of MCQs. Therefore, it is checked that the BOD for drinking water must be 0. So if there is, we're going to doing the BOD test. So what is the criteria? What is the requirement that the BOD, which you want to do the BOD? If we want to check the water contents, and if we're going to looking for the microorganism, so if there is no microorganism in the water, then the BOD must be 0. Right? If the BOD value is not 0, or if it's a 5 or 10 or 15, say, or any other value, that it means there's a microorganism present in the water. For the clean water and drinkable water, the BOD value must be 0. All right. So the correct answer is biochemical oxygen demand of safe drinking water must be nil, because if we talking about the safe drinking water, then the BOD must be nil. It must be 0 whenever. That's for sure, right? Else, if there's other value like 5, 10, 15, 20, then it's not drinkable water. So a little bit discuss more about the BOD, then we move towards the next question. So to continue this BOD, biological oxygen demand session, BOD is typically reported as 5 day. Is normally reported on 5 day of biological oxygen demand, and ultimate BOD at 20 days, right? And ultimate BOD will be 20 days, and reported is milligrams of oxygen consumed per liter. So milligrams, so oxygen will be consumed by the microorganisms or the bacteria in milligrams of oxygen consumed per liter, mg/L. BOD5 is used by regulatory agencies whenever there are the concerning regulatory agencies concerning with the water supply engineering systems, the water supply engineers and different offices, departments, and which are the associated agencies, whether from the government, volunteer, or NGOs, which are concerning with that. So BOD5 is used by those agencies on 5th day. It's reported it's 5th day for monitoring wastewater treatment facilities, how to monitor and how to monitor the processes by which a treatment of wastewater can be possible by having their facilities, and monitor surface water quality. Also, BOD is used to monitor by the BOD regulatory agency of surface water, which is clean or not, what is the pH value of that. So different checklist is being applied on the water quality by using the biological oxygen demand technique by the water supply engineers and water supply engineering, right? So to discuss more about the BOD, the point number 2, BOD is the biological oxygen demand of the water, right? It's the oxygen demand of the water, biochemical oxygen demand of the water, and it is related to the concentration of the bacterial facilitated decomposed organic material in the water. The bacteria presence will be decomposed organic material in the water, right? And a sample with the 5-day BOD between 1 and 2 milligram oxygen per liter indicates a very clean water. For example, if we collect a sample with a 5-day, on a 5th day, if we collect a sample of water on a 5th day, and its BOD value is 1 between and 2, then it's a very clean water. 3.0 to 5.0 milligram oxygen per liter, that the a milligram of oxygen consumed per liter, then it indicates a moderate clean water, and greater than 5 milligram oxygen per indicate a nearby pollution source, right? Well, these are a checklist of the values, but for clean water, for drinking water, it's we already discussed in the question of the topic that for the clean water, for safe drinking water, the BOD value must be 0, nil, right? But if that's the other checklist, so these are the sources and the opinions of the different engineers all around the world. So it's also in the MIME to give interview to someone who can ask you about BOD and its value indicators and indication that must be given to the interviews. Now there are different standards in the world, but I'm not gonna interested in the Indian standards. We use Pakistani standards, but generally the methods are same because all these IS standards are copying, like 1172/1963 will copy all those things from the American engineers and all those agencies occupying in America or UK pertaining to the water supply engineering systems. The water required by per head per day for average domestic purpose is 50 liters. We look into the statement, like if we gonna see closely what it's asking, water required per head. The per head is indicates per person. If I can say per head, and if I can say per person per day, like one day, one person, how much water it consumed, how much water will be required by that person, right? For average domestic purposes, like it's asking about average. It's asking about average domestic purposes. So there is different options. So the correct option is 135 liters. But how? We're gonna have to solve this, and the Badsha will show you the trick and magic behind this. Watch out this. So we will discuss the water required per person per day. Generally, for domestic purposes, it's required is 135 liter per capita day. That's a standard in IS. That's standard in IS, right? Yeah. And Indian standard, it's always this is standard. And it will range to 225 liters per capita day. For industrial, it's 50 liters per capita day of a person per day. And it might be a person who can consume 450 liters per capita day. For institutional, a commercial, an officer or employee having an office under the roof can consume 20 liters per day to 50 liters per capita per day as well. If there is any public use in the offices or industries or domestic purpose, it's 5%. For domestic purpose, 135 liters, because that include a morning shower, attending the bathroom, toilet, then of course, then afternoon kitchen, and then followed by sometimes in the evening as well kitchen work, and then night if there's a cuddling between the couples, it's also nighttime, washroom time, toilet time. So what's 135 is 135 is the Indian basics standards liter per capita a day. And if there is a fire demand, one person is required. If any institutional commercial buildings, schools or industries, if there's a fire, one person water will be utilized out of the water tanks. And if there's a losses and thefts in industries or in institutional organization, commercials, building, hospitals, or public sector buildings, that losses will be 10 to 15%, right? So it's the last question for today's session of the first tutorial of MCQ series of water supply engineering. Pick up the correct statement from the following. Excess quantity of iron and manganese in water cause discoloration of clothes. Like if you're gonna wash out your clothes, if you're gonna instruction to your wives or maid and working in houses, and if she washes your clothes in a washing machine, did you know washing machine functions? Oh, right on in the comment box. So the washing machine, if she washes that, then if you suppose if you're wearing a white blue cotton cloths, and that color turn a little bit lighter from the darker, so it means discoloration occurs, decoloration or discoloration occurs. So is it really mean that this water contain iron? If iron sulfate is present in the water, of course it will be acidic and pH value will be lesser than 7. But I'm talking about not iron sulfate, I'm talking about iron. I'm talking about iron. So if iron and manganese is present in water, did it change the color of your clothes? Okay, that's the first question. Lead and barium salts have toxic effects. Like these are two salts. Lead will be, it's lead or lead. You have to decide and write in the comment box. Comment. Lead and barium are two salts, but is this having a toxic effect? Let us discuss quickly. So discuss on iron. Iron is a chemical element with symbol Fe and atomic number 26. It is a metal that belongs to the first transition series in group 8 of the periodic table. It is by mass the most common element on Earth. The most common. Just ahead of oxygen, forming much of Earth's outer and inner core, right? It's really in abundance right after oxygen. Now if I can come a little bit down, symbol is Fe, electronic configuration is Ar, 3D, superscript 6, 4 is superscript 2. Atomic mass 55.84 U. Boiling point is 2862 centigrade. This is important. Atomic number might be not important for civil engineers, which is 26. Electrons per shell is that 28142, and melting point is very important for civil engineers, which is 1538 degrees centigrade. How to convert into Fahrenheit? A homework and a science task for you guys. Write down in the comment box. So to discuss manganese, manganese is actually a chemical element with a symbol Mn. Atomic number 25. It is hard, brittle, silver color, silver metal color, often found in minerals in combination with iron. So it is in conjunction with the iron. Its occupance is with the presence of iron. In combination with iron, manganese is a transition metal with multi-faceted array of industrial alloy uses. Like it is used in industries in abundance, particularly in stainless steel watches, stainless steel utensils using in kitchens, or all the facilitations and facilities of an application of manganese. A symbol is Mn, atomic number 25, electronic configuration Ar, bracket 3D, superscript 54 is superscript 2, atomic mass 54.93, and I'm not concerned with the ID periodic 4. Alright, that's enough for me, right? Let's discuss the lead salt. So it's a soluble salt of inorganic. Lead are also strong systematic poisons. They may accumulate within the body over a long period until toxic levels are reached and cells damage ensues. These salts were at one time commonly found in paints, and lead poisoning was frequently seen in children who chewed, right? So that's a little bit about the salts. To discuss something about the barium salt, and like you can see, I have to a little bit discuss about the barium salt, right? So the barium salt is barium chloride is an organic compound with the formula BaCl2. It's one of the most common water soluble salts of barium. Like most other water-soluble barium salt, it's easily soluble in water, which is one sure. It is white powder, this barium salt, highly toxic, and imparts a yellow-green coloration to a flame. And imparts a yellow-green coloration to a flame. Like if you can see a flame, if there is a yellowish or green color in a flame, that indicates the barium, right? Or barium chloride. Effects of barium salts or lead. Acute exposure to a very high level of barium may induce gastrointestinal effects. It will damage your intestines. If you can, if you're gonna take this barium salts, cardiac dysrhythmias, right? Abnormal blood pressure, right? It will may lower your blood pressure or higher blood pressure. Muscle weakness, you will feel weakness if you intake this barium salt. You will paralyze your hands and body will not going to work. There is antidote for barium treatment consists of regulation of serum potassium levels. You have to take potassium levels and respiratory and cardiovascular support. You have even wear the respiratory mask, so it's a really toxic. So similarly, the same applies for the lead salts. So both lead salts and barium salts are highly toxic, right? So option number C is arsenic and selenium. Are both arsenic and selenium are poisons to human health. So what are these? What are these buddies? What are these dudes? The bad guys. Discuss that. Arsenic is naturally occurring substance that can be found in air, water, and soil. Right? It is occurred in air. It might occur in water, but what kind of water? If you are that spontaneous, write down in the comment box. And soil, what kind of soil? Saturated soil, unsaturated soil, silty soil, clay soil. What kind of soil? Damp soil, hard soil, soft soil, loose soil. It can also be released into the environment by certain agriculture industrial processes. Like if there is agriculture industrial industries and there is a heavy machinery working in industrial and agriculture projects, then with the release of toxic materials, then this arsenic can also be released by agriculture industrial processes such as mining and metal smelting. Now what is mining and metal smelting? We're going to discuss these two parameters in next tutorials. Our metal smelting will be also coming with in the building construction series, so we're going to discuss that. So metal smelting, metal preparation, metal working, and mining to find out the mines and minerals from out of the caves, mountains, and the mining processes. So this shit is also being released by these two agriculture industrial processes. This is its shape. You can see the shape of it. Arsenic. It's a chemical element with a symbol As and atomic number 33. Arsenic occurs in many minerals, usually in combination with sulfur and metals. So if it occurs in conjunction with sulfur and metal, it's also metal. But also the pure elemental crystal, arsenic is a metalloid. So what is metalloid? We will make a video on next tutorial metalloid, and of course metal smelting. We're going to make a separate video on that. So its symbol is As, atomic number 33. This is electronic configuration AR, orbit 3D superscript 10, 4 superscript 2, 4p superscript 3, and melting point at 816.8 degrees centigrade, and discovered in 1250. And if you're gonna subtract 2023, which is going on 11th of April 2023, if you're gonna subtract 1250 and 773 years ago, it was discovered. Atomic mass is 74.92, right? That's way enough for arsenic. So selenium is a chemical element, and with the symbol Se in atomic number 34, it is non-metal with properties that are intermediate between the elements above and below in the periodic table, sulfur and tellurium, and also has similarities to arsenic. So whenever it comes to arsenic, this millennium will be connected with that. So that's a symbol, atomic number 34. You check out the configuration by yourself. Atomic mass 78 melting point to 20.8 degrees centigrade, right? So it's saying that arsenic and millennium are these two are poisonous to human health. So we will check that it's a correct on a high copper content affects the lungs. So copper, what is copper? Right? So copper is a chemical element with symbol Cu from Latin word cuprum, and atomic number 20. It is soft, malleable, and ductile metal. Copper is a metal. It is soft. It is malleable. So what is malleable? Write down in the comment box. We'll make a separate video on that. And ductile metal with a very high thermal and electrical conductivity. It can absorb heat very rapidly and very in abundance. Its electrical conductivity. It's made for electrical. It says that copper wires are the best wires. Copper wires are the best wires for electrical conductivity, are used in electrical wiring system. It's saying that copper wires are the best wires for electrical conductivity and electrical appliances, electrical works, and also electrical conduiting. A freshly exposed surface of pure copper has a pinkish orange color. As you can see, the color is a pinkish and it has an orange color, and that's a good quality of color in this fresh exposed surface. If I am assistant RE, I would like, if I have to use the copper in my electrical conduiting, electrical wiring. So if I want to do the test, so I will recommend that to use a freshly exposed surface of copper, a pure copper having a pinkish orange color, and check that and submit a check request report to the concerned inspector, right? Moreover, if I can discuss copper as a chemical element, and this is I've already discussed that. Atomic mass 63, melting point 1085 degrees centigrade temperature, right? It was discovered 9000 BC, and boiling point is 2562 degrees centigrade, right? So high copper content. What is higher copper content? So high copper content is actually the richest dietary copper sources include shellfish, seeds and nuts, organ meats, wheat, grain cereals, and whole grain products, and chocolates that contain higher content of copper, so it can damage your lungs. So the correct option is, of course, the option E. So all are correct. So for today, these skills are very precious that engineer Asghar Basha is offering you. For that response, everything need a response. If the response is higher, I'll make this content more, and if not, there will be certain peoples in the next 50 years, 100 years with watching these videos will really give them help and will remember me always in their prayers. This is your brother signing out from this water supply engineering series first MCQs series tutorial 1. I'll see you soon and watch you, and I'll be available with you in the next tutorial inshallah. But till then, take care. Thank you so much. Fi aman Allah. Allah Hafiz.